Hey peeps, we are back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 12. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Before we get into the show, let's get into these reunion looks. So we already know that Jen did not show up for the reunion. For legal reasons, going to the reunion would not be a good look. So Jen is not there. So my favorite look from head to toe was Angie K. After Angie, it would be Whitney. After Whitney, Lisa. Then Heather. Then Meredith. Then Angie H. And then Dana. I'm not really sure why Dana's is not a hit with me. But it just, to me, it looks more like a costume than an actual dress. I'm not sure what she was going for. I don't know, you guys. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think of these reunion looks. I mean, considering the last two reunions the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had, you know, I didn't like their reunion looks last season or this season. So I'm thinking that these girls did a lot better. We also know that I have zero fashion sense, so don't go by me. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about each look. Which one was your favorite? Also, you guys, The Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere is February the 7th. I posted the trailer to my community tab. If you have not seen it, please check it out. The Real Housewives of New Jersey this season looks hot. It looks like it is about to be a whole bunch of headaches, a whole bunch of yelling and screaming, and a very, very unpleasant season for the Gorgas and the Judices. Anyway, they also posted their new cast photo. And honey, listen, I love purple and blue. Two of my favorite colors, and these ladies are bringing it. They look gorgeous in these photos. My favorite, and I hate to say it, this woman is my favorite, but Melissa Gorga, she killed it. She looked amazing, and so did Dolores. Teresa, her dress looked great, but her smile just didn't seem to meet her eyes. I don't know, you guys. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about the New Jersey fashions. All right, now on to the show. We start out, it is day 3 on this hellacious trip. This was a girl trip from hell. I'm going to be all over the place with this because this episode was interesting, but it pissed me off at the same time. And I didn't appreciate the to be continued at the end of the episode for the second episode in a row. I know that they have to get the ratings up. At this moment, I think they're running neck and neck with Dubai as far as the lowest ratings for a Housewives show. But this is ridiculous. It really is. So when they first get up, the first two people to wake up is Meredith and Jen. And both of them are looking rough. Honey, they are looking like two zombies from The Walking Dead. I said, Lord, I thought the show was canceled. They just moved you to the Housewives. Anyway, they had partied and drank and stayed up way late in the middle of the night. Okay, they was doing a lot. Heather texts Jen and says that they have a problem. Can she come to her room? Jen gets down to Heather's room and my antenna goes off. Because, first of all, Jen did not look surprised or shocked to see Heather's eye looking like that. Jen was quiet. Heather said that she didn't want to get anybody in trouble. They needed to come up with a cover story. You know, Jen quickly comes up with all these crazy lies that she thinks that they can use. And then they invite Meredith down to the room. Meredith is completely shocked. She can't even hardly get her words out. So I know Meredith didn't have anything to do with this big black eye that, you know, Heather is sporting. Not to mention all the scratches. She's got scratches on her hands, scratches on her arm. And Meredith asked her, she said, do you also have scratches on your back? And she said, yes. Now, Meredith is very, very much aware that Heather knows exactly what happened to her and she just doesn't want to say. Now, my problem with this is, Heather, you are a grown-ass woman and I don't understand it. I do not get it. At first I thought, well, maybe she fell, but then with all the scratches, and then she made the comment that she didn't want to get anybody in trouble. She didn't want to talk about what happened unless the person wanted to talk about it. And I started thinking to myself, if I was Heather and I'm sporting this black eye, we're talking about it. Everybody's going to know about it, that I was physically attacked. And whoever that person was who physically attacked me is definitely going to be fired from this show. And not only that, as soon as the cameras are down, they're going to leave this place with a black eye too. Okay? Because listen, we going to have matching black eyes in this bitch. I'm just saying, I don't play that. No, ma'am. I don't understand it. Whoever hit Heather, why don't they have marks? Because I'm going to fight you. Heather clearly doesn't believe in fighting, which is fine. There's a lot of people in this world who are really sweet and really kind, and they don't believe in violence, and they won't pop you back. I'm not one of them. I'll whoop your ass. I'm sorry. That's just how it works in my world.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble, Jen, but that's why I need you to help me figure out if someone wants to talk about what really happened last night.
But how did this happen?
I don't want to talk about it.
You know what happened.
And the other thing that I'm really frustrated with is Meredith. She alludes and gets you to say it.
One mistake.
Well, I think we all know what happened. I just think we don't want to talk about it.
Wait, what happened?
Oh my God.
What the happened?
I don't think it's that noticeable.
Heather, are you insane? You look like somebody clocked you.
Maybe somebody did, and they don't want to talk about it.
It's not funny, Heather.
Lisa's gonna be talking about herself. 13 boxes full of clothes and shoes.
I don't know how to reverse. I'm so sorry.
Can we get a normal meal that requires utensils?
I don't know what happened, but whatever happened is not okay. Really concerning.
He said there's an SEC filing, a crowdfunding, where Lisa's the richest bitch out of all of us, but she's trying to crowdfund.
Why the is she talking about my business with you? She's gonna have to sell a lot of jewelry to make one of my POs.
So just so I understand a little bit more about this SEC filing.
You know,
That's
she
her
says she's the
business.
richest friend that we all have.
I don't count anyone else's money, but you want to sit there and say, I'm the richest bitch, and you can't afford a home, and your husband can't keep a job?
Thing about John, basically, that he doesn't work and.
Hello. Hi.
Yes. So I have a question. Who talked about an SEC filing about Lisa?
Did you talk about me and my businesses?
I really haven't talked about it other than in passing.
But I think it's funny that you guys all want to chit-chat about me.
Oh, Lisa, you want to chit-chat about everyone else?
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Whatever. Don't go there. What are you gonna do? Talk more gossip about me and say my husband doesn't have a job? Don't talk to me.
What, is something been lost in translation? Did she come home from our bus ride and download it all to you?
Pretend you didn't hear it. Pretend she's rich. That's what she likes.
You accused me of calling you mentally ill.
What I had was a rant.
No, it was a tirade, but go on.
No. It was a rant.
Okay, you don't remember how it happened?
I didn't say that. I didn't ever say that. I didn't say I don't remember how it happened. I just said I'm not talking about it. It's first rule about Fight Club.
Meredith looks at her and says, you have clearly been physically battered. And I'm with Meredith. You've been physically battered. I've never used that phrase before, but physically battered. I can go with that. So then we get to Whitney. And you know what? Every time Whitney opens her mouth, this is what I think.
Shut up! Shut up, girl!
I really just need her to shut the hell up. It's the baby whiny voice. You've already got the baby whining voice, but then on top of that, you're actually whining and being a big grown-up baby. I hate it. She's trying to put all of this on Meredith. It's Meredith who's the puppet master. Meredith doesn't actually say it. She just sort of insinuates, and then she gets us to say it. Really? You're a grown-ass woman. If you don't want to be a part of it, you don't want to be a part of the rumor mill, you don't want to gossip, then just don't say it. She didn't hold a weapon to you and make you participate in these rumors about Lisa. She didn't force you to tell her that you thought that Lisa was giving blowies for jazz tickets. You said that because you wanted to. And then when you got to Arizona, oh my God, I'm feeling guilty. I've been traumatized. I've got to tell you what's happening. We've been out here talking about you. Meredith came over to my house to spread this rumor about you and conveniently left out the full conversation. Yes, Meredith came over to your house, and yes, she made some comments that were not really appropriate, but Meredith is pissed off at Lisa for the rant. So of course Meredith is going to insinuate some things. You didn't have to take the bait. All you had to say was, no, Meredith, I've never heard that. And I don't know if any of that is true, and moved on. Now you want to put the entire blame on Meredith? And I thought that Lisa was a very smart woman. I cannot believe she is buying this bullshit that Whitney is selling. Then we have Heather. She comes in and hugs everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. I can't wait to get out today. We're going to tour the town. We're going to get in the go-karts and go. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. You know, is what she's telling in her confessionals. Then she sits around and she says, everybody knows what happened. They just don't want to talk about it. And then she takes off her glasses and everybody's like, what? Everybody except for Jen. Everybody is completely flipping out. Jen is completely silent. And I said to myself, when does she ever shut the hell up? Why is she not throwing in her 2 cents right now? Everybody is freaked out. Everybody has questions. And Jen is silent. All of a sudden, she doesn't have a word to say. I said, So then Heather says, I don't even think it's that noticeable. Lisa says, girl, you look like somebody has popped you or something like that. And that is the truth. You look like somebody whooped your ass last evening and nobody else looks like they were beat up. Girl, what? I don't understand it. What did they do? Did they pop you real quick and then run out? And that's another thing. Production kept asking her over and over and over again, what happened? What happened? Don't you want to tell us what happened? Girl, y'all have cameras everywhere. Are you seriously going to tell me that you guys couldn't rewind the footage and see who was the last person with Heather? Did you see anybody running out of her room? What? Production, you doing too damn much. I'm just saying, in my opinion, Heather is covering for Jen. Whitney made a comment that she believes that if Heather was attacked, it was Jen who did it. And that Heather is probably not trying to say anything. She's protecting her because she's got trial coming up. And that makes a whole lot of sense to me, especially when you watch Jen's body language throughout the entire episode and the way Heather was looking at her. Later in the episode, when they got finished riding those go-karts, which I am going out of order, Meredith was talking to Heather and she was telling Heather how she knows she doesn't want to talk about this, but whatever happened, if somebody attacked her, it's not okay. And if you paid attention to that scene, Heather kept staring at Jen and Jen kept looking very odd and she was quiet the entire time. And Heather just tilted her head staring at Jen. Jen, in my opinion, which I have no proof of this is all alleged, she was giving guilty vibes. I'll tell you something else. They are not about to keep this whodunit. They are not about to do it. I remember back in the day, they had that whole who shot JR thing. And, you know, JR got shot. And then it wasn't until the very next season that we found out who shot JR. And it was Kristen, Sue Ellen's sister. But anyway, it was a big secret. It's like every cast member shot JR. And the production team didn't tell them who was really going to be the actual shooter until the episode aired. And honey, that was like the #1 rated episode of all times because everybody wanted to know who shot JR, but I think everybody also wanted to shoot JR. I don't know. That Larry Hagman, he killed it as JR. If you have not watched the TV show Dallas, get into it. Even though that show came out in like 78 or 79, something like that. I don't even know. Listen, that show is still relevant today. JR was the devil. And Bobby was so cute. Anyway, I don't know how the hell we got here. God, I can just ramble on. Anyway, Bravo, you're not going to do this to us. We are not going to keep on waiting and waiting for answers. You better tell us the truth next episode. I'm sick of it. And if you haven't noticed, every time one of these ladies gets on Watch What Happens Live, somebody asks them about Heather and that eye, and they all remain silent. I don't get it. Tell us, damn it, something. You know what? Did anybody else think that Heather was also kind of milking this? Like she was enjoying this, all the attention? I still think until we find out the truth, my thoughts is that it was Jen. Jen gets super quiet every time they start to talk about that eye. And not only that, when her and Meredith and Angie K were out together, Jen changed the subject real quick. Let's talk about Lisa and this SEC situation. And I said, well, what the hell? How did we get there? We are still talking about this eye. Stop diverting from this eye. Now, before we get to the SEC situation, let me just talk about those Go cars. Now, honey, now listen, those cars were so cute. I've seen the Go bikes. I've also seen the Go scooters, but I didn't know that they had the Go cars, and they are adorable. I would have loved it. Now, the thing that was crazy for me was Lisa said, the thing that cracked me up the most was Heather saying that she wanted to ride with Lisa because she knew Lisa would be too busy talking about herself to even ask her about the eye situation. And damn it, was she right. Lisa was in there talking about her $800 dress, talking about how she received 3 boxes of clothes and she doesn't appreciate it when John buys her clothes like that because she likes to pick out her own stuff. I said, damn it, she is going a mile a minute. And Heather hasn't had to talk about this eye at all. She was on the money with that. And then Whitney not being able to put her car in reverse. She is blocking traffic with that tiny car. That was hilarious. That man had to get out of his car to push her out of the way. Then we did see Heather change the subject about her eye to talk about her relationship with Whitney. And I kind of understood what Heather was saying, that her and Whitney have been family and friends for all of this time. And her and Whitney always have conversations that they possibly wouldn't share with others. However, now that Whitney has decided that she wants this friendship with Lisa, she's now telling Lisa all the things that her and Heather have talked about. And now she feels that she's been betrayed and she can't trust Whitney. And I understand that. Even if you want to have this friendship with Lisa, it's not fair for you to go back and tell her everything that Heather said. Heather shared that information with you because she thought it would be private. So that I can totally understand. However, I also think that Heather has a real big grudge against Lisa for no reason. You know, her and Lisa have had some little rough moments from time to time, but mostly Lisa tries to keep the peace with Heather, and Heather is just not receptive to it. And I don't know if it's because Heather has some sort of jealousy against Lisa. I don't know. Now, they have that conversation about the SEC situation, and I thought, Jen Shaw, are you really in this woman's business? You who stole millions of dollars from the senior citizens, you don't have any business judging Lisa Barlow, whether she is crowdfunding or whether she is got an SEC report, whether her business is doing well or not. The point is her business is legal and yours was not. Okay, mind your damn business. You're the last person that should be judging Lisa Barlow. Get the hell out of here, you thief. Also, I'm all over the place now. But later on, Meredith makes this comment to Lisa that she jeopardized her husband's job. I said, no, ma'am. Okay, Lisa was too damn much. She was doing too much with that rant. But Lisa didn't put Seth's job in jeopardy. If anything, Seth's job is in jeopardy for them cringy tub scenes that you guys do, for him motorboating Whitney's breast cake, and for always talking about this woman's breast. That is what puts his job in jeopardy. That's just gross and nasty. You should talk to him about that. When they were in the Sprinter van on the way back to the house, Angie K out of nowhere asked them about the SCC situation. She was soaking up all the information. She was trying to find out everything she could find out about Lisa and crowdfunding and the other vodka company, all of that information. She goes back and makes this comment that she was uncomfortable. What the hell were you uncomfortable with? If you were uncomfortable, you made yourself uncomfortable because you are the one who brought it up in the Sprinter van. They were on a whole nother topic until you started that conversation. You should shut the hell up. Okay. And then she makes this comment that Heather and Meredith know that Jen's behavior is toxic and wrong, but here they are talking about Lisa, and you know, Meredith loves her feathers, but they're not regular birds or something like that. They're seagulls, and people don't like seagulls because they shit on them, and that's the truth. Good God, seagulls are the worst. At some point in her confessional, Heather says, I didn't say I didn't remember what happened. I just said that I'm not talking about it. It's the first rule of Fight Club. Heather, cut the shit. So Lisa kept saying, I just had one bad moment. Girl, that one bad moment was a lot. Now let's just remind us. Let's just remember what she said. Her one bad moment, her rant, which Meredith calls a tirade, she says Meredith can go F herself. I'm done with her because I'm not a effing whore. And I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb effing family that poses. Why don't they own a house? Wait, you can't because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes. Fake Meredith is a piece of shit. I have your back. I'm offended by that. F you. That effing piece of shit garbage whore. I effing hate her. She's a whore. She's effed half of New York. She can go fuck herself. Okay, so that moment, that was a lot. And that's why Meredith is acting the way she's acting. She is pissed off. Lisa makes this comment that Meredith said that our businesses, family, and kids and everything is off limit. She just went for all of mine. And then she says that Meredith is a pill popper. Lisa, you went for all of hers too. You crossed the line and now she's crossing the line and she absolutely wants to pay you back for it. I would still be pissed off as well. However, would I handle it the same way Meredith is handling it? No. But this is Meredith's situation, not mine. She wasn't talking shit about my kids and husband. And I would also like to say for the record, how dare Heather and Meredith talk about Lisa's crowdfunding? You guys are sitting there chummy being friends with and supporting the woman who scammed the elderly. Get the hell out of here. I am surprised that Meredith is a part of all this. And that whole thing about mental health, Meredith is a lie. She is an absolute liar. She absolutely insinuated that Lisa needed some mental health help. I laughed quite a bit when Lisa did her impersonation of Meredith at the table. Also, did anybody notice when Whitney jumped in to find out who brought up the SCC, who was talking about it? Did you see that smile and smirk on her face? She was so happy to jump in other people's business. She was so happy to be a part. She was so happy to jump into the middle of that. Now, when somebody reads her for filth, she'll start crying and become the victim again. Meredith also lied when she tried to act as if she hadn't had any in-depth conversation about the SCC situation. When Whitney called her out, I was waiting for Meredith to step up, but she didn't. And I thought, ma'am, you felt so strongly. You said F Lisa. You were talking all this mad crap about her in the Sprinter van. Where's that same energy? I mean, seriously, I thought she was going to say it was me and... No, she didn't say anything. Listen, Meredith, if you can say it in the Sprinter van behind this woman's back, you should be able to say it right there in front of her right then. Also, Lisa went out on Twitter and she said, this is rich. Jen is reaching while wearing Gucci glasses I bought her. So when Jen and Heather and Angie K and Meredith were sitting out there talking, Jen was wearing those really pretty Gucci glasses. It turns out that Lisa bought those for her. And she's out there talking shit about the woman. That is so sad. Now, when Meredith made that comment about Lisa canceling her glam, I said, girl, are you serious right now? But Lisa went out on Twitter and said, making more shit up. I have my phone records. I called posted last season. And we all know Brooks did Meredith Marks' makeup season 1 and most of season 2. You know what's canceled? Lies about me canceling anything. Honey, listen, Lisa Barlow is not here for the bullshit. She is happy to get out on Twitter and defend herself. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.